Good morning, guys. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, good morning. Am I audible? Response me with the chat. Okay. So wait for 2 to 3 minutes. We will start our seventh lecture. Okay. Now we will start our session. Okay, this is the video lecture for one-dimensional spring element. Actually, here I have derived one-dimensional stiffness matrix or global stiffness matrix for one-dimensional spring element. So I will start this session now. Okay, so if the voice is not audible from this video, so I will explain it in a short. Actually, this is a spring element, and for this we are going to derive a stiffness matrix. Okay, so we will derive the stiffness matrix for the one-dimensional spring element. Okay, so this is the spring element with spring coefficient k, or you can say it as a spring constant. K is nothing but your F by delta. So F means the amount of force required to deflect the spring by unit amount delta. Okay, so we will derive this stiffness matrix in similar way that we have derived the stiffness matrix for one-dimensional bar element. Okay, so see this. Okay, so there are actually 4 steps. As we know that these 4 steps are: first one, we need to convert this real life problem into our finite element or discrete problem. So for this, we need to convert this entire domain into a finite number of elements. Actually, here there is only one element, means this is the spring element, and we are going to derive this stiffness matrix for spring element. So see, these are the steps. there are two nodes. First one is at fixed position, and the second one at this position. The force F is acting. So like previous derivation, there are also nodal forces as well as nodal displacements at the nodes. So at node 2, F2 and U2, these are the nodal force. F2 and U2 is the nodal displacement. Similarly, the nodal forces and nodal displacements should be acting at node 1, F1 and U1. Actually, I will share this video to your WhatsApp group also. Now, if the force F is acting at node 2, actually this force is nothing but the spring force, okay, which is nothing but F is equal to K times delta, where delta is the deflection, actually. Now, deflection is nothing but, in previous case, the deflection was U2 minus U1. Similarly, for this case also, your deflection will become U2 minus U1. Okay. So, see this. For one-dimensional bar element, we have considered this deflection as delta L. Now, in this case, here we will consider the deflection as delta, which is nothing but equal to U2 minus U1. Okay. Now, if this force F acts at node 2 equal to K times U2 minus U1, then there must be the same amount of force which must act at node 1 but in opposite direction, as we have derived this in case of your one-dimensional bar element. So what does it mean? If the F1 or F2 is equal to K times U2 minus U is acting at node 2 in a tensile direction, then there must be a same amount of force which must act at node 1 but in opposite direction. Okay, so simple. To keep this spring in equilibrium, we need to apply the same amount of force in opposite direction at node 1. So this F1 will become minus of F. Minus of F2 means minus K times U2 minus U1. Okay, so this is F2. F2 is nothing but K times U2 minus U1, and F1. F1 is nothing but minus of F2. Why minus of F2? Because we need to keep this spring in equilibrium. So we need to apply the same amount of force in opposite direction at node 1. So this will become F1 is equal to minus K times U2 minus U1, and this F2 will become K times U2 minus U1. Here, see, this AYL means what? In previous, for derivation of your one-dimensional bar element, this term K is replaced by A by L in your bar element. For your bar element, the K is replaced with the term A by L. Actually, this we have derived from the formula. Delta means deflection is equal to PL upon A from your strength of material theory. So from this P by delta, if we derive the P by delta, then you will get A by L, and for this P by delta is nothing but your K. K means your spring coefficient or your spring constant. You can say it as a stiffness. So in similar way, for your one-dimensional bar element, there is a term A by L, which is nothing but your stiffness. So this is replaced by the stiffness coefficient K in these equations. Okay. So now we will write these equations, or we will simplify these equations to get a elemental stiffness matrix. Now, to simplify these equations, now we will simplify these equations as F1 is equal to, means split the bracket as minus K times U2 and minus plus K times U1. Okay, so see this. Okay, actually this is the simplification of these two equations. So see how I have simplified these two equations. Okay, now here I am simplifying your first equation f1. F1 is equal to k times u2 minus u1. So see this. So f1 will become minus k times u2 plus k times u1. So you can write this equation as f1 is equal to k times u1 minus k times u2. Similarly, this f2 can be simplified as f2 is equal to k times u2 and k times minus u1. Okay, so see this. So you can write this f2 as k minus k times u1, means u1 term first and u2 terms second. Okay. So actually we have derived these equations during our one-dimensional bar element. Similar way, here we have derived these two equations. Now these two equations we can write in a matrix form. Okay, because algebraic equations can be written in a matrix form, as we have studied in your previous lecture. So suppose let us say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2, then we can write these two equations in a matrix form as so. So first write these two equations. F1 is equal to k times u1 minus k times u2. Similarly, f2 is equal to k times minus k times u1 plus k times u2. Okay. So we are considering this as equation 1 and this as equation 2. Okay. Now we are going to write these two equations in a matrix form as. So let us see. Actually, you have written these equations. You know how to write these equations in matrix form because you have studied this concept in your numerical methods and optimization subject. Okay. So first it will become a force vector f1, f2. Okay. So first one is your force vector. Then second on the right hand side, the first term will be your stiffness matrix. Okay. First term will become your stiffness matrix. And second term will become your displacement vector u1, u2. Okay, so you can write this as k minus k for equation 1, and next for equation 2 it will become minus k and plus. Okay, so this is your stiffness matrix, or you will get from this equation you will get the stiffness matrix for a one-dimensional spring element. So your stiffness matrix will become k minus k minus k k. Okay, this is nothing but your elemental stiffness matrix for one-dimensional spring element. Then this term u1 u2 is nothing but your displacement vector, and first term on the LHS it is nothing but your force vector. So there are three terms. First one is force vector, second one is stiffness matrix, and third one is displacement vector. Okay, or you can write by using this stiffness matrix the equations of f1 and f2 also. Okay. So let us see. Okay, now see. Actually, we have considered this elemental stiffness matrix, or we have derived this elemental stiffness matrix for one element only. Means for one, if the one element is there or one spring element is there, then this is your elemental stiffness matrix. Okay. and the position of this matrix, it is between node 1 and node 2. Okay, as there are two nodes, so the position of this stiffness matrix or order of this your stiffness matrix will be of 2 by 2. Okay, so see the position of this your elemental stiffness matrix as first K is nothing but your first term of your stiffness matrix, means first row first column, means A11 term is nothing but your first element of this stiffness matrix. Similarly, A12 is the second element of your stiffness matrix. Similarly, this minus K is nothing but your third, or means for second row first column, means A21 is the term which is related to your elemental stiffness matrix, and for second row second column it will become A22. So this can be written as the elemental stiffness matrix. If there are only one element, there is only one element, then you can write this elemental stiffness matrix as of order 2 by 2. Okay, so this will become equal to, so this matrix is in between node 1 and 2, so it will become A11 A12 and similarly A21 A22. These are the position of that elemental stiffness matrix. Actually this elemental stiffness matrix lies between node 1 and 2. Okay, okay, now we will see. Actually this was for your one element only, but if the elements are increased, if the number of elements increased, then how to construct a global stiffness matrix? Okay, so this is nothing but if there is only one element, then number of nodes equal to 2, then order of your stiffness matrix will become 2 by 2. But if the number of nodes are increased, means if the number of elements are increased, then what will be the stiffness matrix, or what will be the global stiffness matrix? Now we will construct our global stiffness matrix for two elements. Okay, so if number of elements are equal to n, then order it will become n by n, means how many number of nodes are there, this is your order of that your global stiffness matrix. So if number of nodes is equal to n, then order of that matrix will become n by n. Okay, so suppose if there are two elements with spring constants k1 and k2. Okay, let us see. There are two elements with spring constants k1 and k2. If there are two elements, it means there must be 2 plus 1 nodes. Okay, so number of nodes is equal to nothing but number of elements plus 1. So n is equal to number of elements plus 1. So number of nodes will become, as there are two elements, so number of nodes will become 2 plus 1 means 3. Okay, so your order of that your global stiffness matrix will become, number of nodes कितने तुमचे तो 3 है, so it will become 3 by 3. Okay, so there are three nodes 1, 2 and 3. So the matrix order will be of 3 by 3. Okay, here now we will derive, or we will construct your global stiffness matrix here, and it should be of order 3 by 3. So first we need to construct elemental stiffness matrix. Actually we have derived this elemental stiffness matrix for one element only. So similarly here we will construct two elemental stiffness matrix. As there are two elements, then we need to construct two elemental stiffness matrices, and by using these two elemental stiffness matrices we will construct our global stiffness matrix K. Okay, so this is your global stiffness matrix K, and which we will construct by using your elemental stiffness matrix, and the order of that global stiffness matrix will become 3 by 3 because there are three nodes. Okay, so this is the order 3 by 3, and by using your elemental stiffness matrix we will construct our global stiffness matrix. Okay, so first we will construct our elemental stiffness matrix for element 1 and for element 2, as there are two elements. In similar way that we have derived the stiffness matrix for spring element, we will construct the elemental stiffness matrix for two elements. First one will become E1, second one will become E2. And by using this two elemental stiffness matrix, we will construct our global stiffness matrix. Let us see this K11, K12, K13, K21, K22, K23 up to K33. This is your elements of global stiffness matrix. Okay, so this is your global stiffness matrix K. Okay, this is nothing but your global stiffness matrix K, which is equal to, or its order is nothing but 3 by 3. Means if the number of nodes are 3, then order will become 3 by 3. Okay, so this is your global stiffness matrix. Okay, so as there are nodes n is equal to 3, so their order will become 3 by 3, and this is nothing but your global stiffness matrix. Now, how to construct this global stiffness matrix? Okay, this is the position of the global stiffness matrix between node 1, 2, 3. Means there are three rows. Similarly, there are three columns. Okay, we will position this global stiffness matrix between these three nodes 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we will construct. First, we need to construct the elemental stiffness matrix. Actually, we have derived this elemental stiffness matrix. Okay, so first here we will write the how the elements of the global stiffness matrix will look like. So see this. So global stiffness matrix elements are K11 to K13 for first row. Then for second row, K21 to K23. Then for third row, this is equal to K31 to K32. Okay, so this is your global stiffness matrix. And here I am writing the position of this the global stiffness matrix. Okay, now first we will construct elemental stiffness matrix. Okay, now for this is the element 1. Okay, this is the element 1, spring element 1. Now for this spring element stiffness matrix, we will write this spring stiffness matrix for this element 1 as actually A1. It is nothing A1. This is actually E1. Elemental stiffness matrix E1. For this element 1, it is written as actually this element. It is in between node 1 and 2. Means this lies in between node 1 and 2. So its position will become between 1 and 2 according to columns, and similarly according to row, it will be written as 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so elemental stiffness matrix, actually this lies between node 1 and 2. So this will be written as, instead of K here, we will write K1. So K1 minus K1 minus K1. The next row will become minus K1, K1. Because as we know, the elemental stiffness matrix for one-dimensional spring element as K minus K minus KK. But here the spring constant is changed to K1. So this can be written as K1 minus K1 minus K1, K1. Okay. Actually, we have derived this elemental stiffness matrix from our force equations. Okay, these are the force equations. Means this relationship between the force vector and displacement vector, and from this you can write the elemental stiffness matrix for first element. Okay. Okay, so this is your force vector stiffness matrix. Okay, so from this stiffness matrix you can construct first elemental stiffness matrix. Okay, so in means instead of K there is K1. So similar way you can write the elemental stiffness matrix this for this first element as, okay, from this equation you can write, actually this is the one dimensional spring element equation. Okay, so from this you can write the, and actually this is the generalized equation. From this generalized equation you can write the elemental stiffness matrix. Here for element 1 instead of K there is spring constant K1. So you can write it as K1 minus K1 minus K1 K1. Okay. So here actually the position, here the position of the stiffness matrix is in between node 1 and 2. Now similar way you can construct the elemental stiffness matrix E2. Okay, and this can be written as, actually the position of the elemental stiffness matrix E2 will change now. Okay, this element actually lies between node 2 and 3. So the position will become between node 2 and 3. Similarly, between node 2 and 3 means these are the columns between 2 and 3 and between rows 2 and 3. So this will become similar to this matrix. Now here instead of K, K2 is there. So write K2 minus K2, then minus K2 and finally plus K2. Okay, so this is the elemental stiffness matrix for second element. Okay. Now finally we will construct our global stiffness matrix K by using these two elemental stiffness matrix E1 and E2. Okay. Okay. Here actually there are three nodes. So the global stiffness matrix will become of order 3 by 3. Okay. But actually, elemental stiffness matrix, actually we have written this in between node 1 and 2. But we need to write this in between node 1, 2, 3. Means our global order is 3 by 3. And here we are written this between 2 by 2. So we need to write this between order 3 by 3. So we can write this as your third row as well as third column as a null values. Okay. So this is nothing but your, actually this is nothing but your 2 by 2 matrix. But by adding this third row and third column with null values, you can write it as a global. Okay. Actually, if you write these equations, then you will get only two equations with two terms, K1 and minus K1. Means K1 times U1 minus K1 times U2 plus 0 times U3. Okay. Here, actually, why we are writing this? Because of global order is 3 by 3. So we need to write this global, this elemental stiffness matrix in a global order. So that's why here we can write this matrix as K1 minus K1 0 minus K1 K1 0 0 0 0. Okay. So similar way, C E2 can be written as this stiffness can be written in order of 3 by 3. So in this case, we need to add first row and first column. So see how we can write this first row and first column to this elemental stiffness matrix. So let us see. So here we need to add one first row and first column actually. So in this way you will get the global elemental stiffness matrix E2. Okay, so we need to add here only first row and first column. then and then only it will become like as your global order. So see this. This is your actual stiffness matrix, but we are writing this elemental stiffness matrix for your global construction as by adding one first row and first column. So first row means zero, null value 0 0 0 first row. Similarly first column 0 0 0. Actually it will not affect your elemental stiffness matrix. So that's why, and actually we are writing this to construct your global stiffness matrix. Okay, so in this way you can write your elemental stiffness matrix E2. Okay, here first row and first column has null effect. Now, by using this E1 and E2, you can construct the global stiffness matrix. Means by simply adding the elemental stiffness matrix E1 and E2, you will get the global stiffness matrix K. Okay, so see how to construct the global stiffness matrix. Okay. So global stiffness matrix will become, actually this order is between three nodes. So 1, 2, 3, you can write it as 1, 2, 3 because there are 3 columns and 3 rows because order of that matrix is 3 by 3. So simply add these two matrices to get the global stiffness matrix. So first, if you write it as a elemental stiffness matrix E1, as it is you can write K1 minus K1 0 minus K1 K1 0 0 0 0. Then add this E2 to your first element. So K1 plus 0. So let us see the addition of these two elemental stiffness matrices as okay, K1 plus K2, it will become K2. Add. Okay, so simply you can add these two matrices to get your global stiffness matrix. So see K1 plus 0, K1, K1 minus K1, 0 plus 0, 0. Then K1 minus K1 plus 0 minus K1, K1 plus K2, this is K1 plus K2. 0 plus minus K2, it will become minus K2. Then finally 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus minus K2, it will become minus K2. So simply this is the addition of the two matrices, and 0 plus K2 it will become K2. Means first we need to construct elemental stiffness matrices, then by adding these two elemental stiffness matrices you will get the global stiffness matrix. Okay, so this is your global stiffness matrix K. K1 minus K1 0 minus K1, K1 plus K2 minus K2, and finally third row is 0 minus K2, K2. Okay, so this is your global stiffness matrix for two elements. Now, for your homework, I will give some example. Construct the global stiffness matrix for this question. Okay, I will. Okay, this is the question. Now construct at your own the global stiffness matrix for this elemental for this spring system. As there are 3 springs, and with spring constants K1, K2, and K3. Now construct the global stiffness matrix for this spring system shown in the diagram. Okay. So K1 values of K1, K2, and K3 are also given. Okay. So construct by using same procedure. Construct the global stiffness matrix for this spring system. As there are 3 nodes, 3 elements, then there must be 3 plus 1 nodes. Okay, so first question is find out first elemental stiffness matrix. Okay, next second question is construct the global stiffness matrix. Okay, so first question is find out the elemental stiffness matrix, and second question is construct the global stiffness matrix for this spring system shown in figure. Okay. So note down this question and try to construct the global stiffness matrix. First, try to find out the elemental stiffness matrix and then try to construct the global stiffness matrix. Okay. The values of K1, K2 and K3 is given. So try to construct the global stiffness matrix for this spring system. Okay. Now order of this, what will be the order of this global stiffness matrix? As there are 3 elements, means there are 4 nodes. Okay. So see, there are 4 nodes. So order of your global stiffness matrix will become 4 by 4. So you need to construct 3 elemental stiffness matrices with 4 by 4 order, and then finally by adding these 3 elemental stiffness matrices you will get the global stiffness matrix. Okay, here we will conclude our lecture. Okay, and I will share the attendance link to your group, and actually it will be activated for your 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so we will conclude here our lecture. Thank you.